Welcome to Gab and Jam, episode 252.
All right. Just a little bit of a shout out to the one and only, the great Now Rogers.
Yeah, that we just saw recently. So if you missed that video, hey, that was a while back, but go ahead and check that out.
Yeah.
All right. So not only is today a follow up to what we did last week, which was why do you need an EPK, electronic press kit for the Diyrockstar. This week we're doing why do I need a website?
Yeah, why do you need a website?
For the DIY Rockstar.
That's right. So you got all of these social media platforms in which you can post your stuff. So you got YouTube, you got Instagram,
Oh, people
you got
love
Twitter,
Instagram. Yes.
you got Facebook, you got
it's infinite.
TikTok,
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's infinite.
And whatever other thing that's out there.
Right. All Twitter, all of that, right?
Gaming apps, where
Twitch,
OnlyFans. Right. Yeah, you got OnlyFans.
Clubhouse.
Yeah. So why?
Why maintain? It sounds like more work, right?
Right. Yeah. Why? They're doing this for you anyway. So why would you do that?
Okay, so we are going to answer the 3 most common questions. And to me, this topic relates to both new up and coming DIY rock stars as well as folks like us who are veterans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would you want a website? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work, but it is a foundational home base to showcase your music and introduce people to your world.
Right.
So that is like the primary reason.
But then again, it keeps begging a question. So I can do that on Instagram. I can do that on Facebook. I can do that on OnlyFans. I can do that wherever. So what gives here?
Okay, so we're going to keep beating this drum. Why not use social media?
All right.
There are several reasons. One is it's not yours, and we talked about that once you put material up there, they are free to take it down, tell you can't put it, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and I think OnlyFans is a little bit different, because I know OnlyFans allows porn and all the rest of that kind of stuff, but you do have the content police on a lot of these particular platforms, and so something that might not be in your eyes be something that is controversial or something that might be sensitive or whatever else may be sensitive to these particular entities that own these sites, and YouTube, whatever.
We've gotten dinged for that. Just even putting, I think the one was overcoming overwhelm or something like that, and they sent us a message saying, "Oh, that's a sensitive topic."
Right. Or like I put up one of the album covers by the Ohio Players on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page one week. And it was sort of, this is explicit content. You cannot do that, And then I've seen other stuff that show up on my feed, and I'm saying, wait a minute, how come this stuff can... So again, for you, there might not be any rhyme or reason to it, but for whatever reason, these particular companies... they decide, hey, look, you're violating our policy, and so they may flag you and take you down. And trust me, if you read your the terms and conditions, it's very broad what they get to do. So
so you really can't complain because it's not yours.
Right.
So that's the first reason, and then your second is that they might not approve of your content.
Right.
And if your target demographic and your message might cater to, I don't know, something that is death metal or whatever your topic and your area of expertise is, even though you may be helping your audience, they don't care. As if that topic is sensitive, they will flag you, take it down, not distribute it.
They will.
The next thing is that your content gets lost in the sauce. So you guys know that whatever you're on Instagram, Facebook, your most current post is at the top, and I think you might get to pin like 1 or 2 things at the top. But after that, you put something up, and then if it was a month ago, it's way down the feed. Yeah. So it ends up just getting lost in all the other stuff that you put out there. Even if someone is directly interested in what you're doing, the stuff that you want them to see is probably not top and center all the time.
Right. So
because as you post, it's going to fall down.
You're not guaranteed to hit the viral jackpot.
Oh, that's another reason. That's another reason.
Right,
so I was just saying that if somebody's coming to your page.
No, I was just saying that just because you might have content that you think is great, that you think, is something that really appeals or whatever else, that you're not necessarily guaranteed to hit the viral jackpot. And I'm not just talking about billions of views. Right. I'm just talking about what might even be viral for you.
Right.
That might be thousands of views.
Right. Yeah.
That you're never guaranteed to hit that. Yeah. So a lot of times too, trying to figure out the system that they have in place could be kind of difficult. So it is still like a gamble. Yeah, anytime you post something, whether or not people are going to see it.
Are going to see it, thank you. That's the next thing. Even your followers, for us, we have, nearly 4,000 folks on Facebook. But now, the way the algorithm works, it's all the people who we are linked to don't see. Only, I think they say 6% of your followers actually see your content.
Yeah.
So that kind of defeats the purpose of connecting with so many people, and you can't be sure which ones. It could be somebody who is constantly commenting and sharing your work, and still they may not see the content that you put up.
Right. They might
and
not
that's
see
like ridiculous. Whereas if you have your own website, you can make sure that you design it where anything that's super important goes on the menu, goes on that first page, and then people can click through to get to other things.
I mean, the downside of all of this is that I think people don't do as much internet browsing as they used to. So like in the old days of the internet, I think people would do like Google searches and they would go to random websites. Yeah. Right. But now with the advent of social media, people probably tend to get stuck on the app. So they tend to get stuck on a TikTok or whatever is their app of choice. Yeah. And that is their way of web browsing. Yeah. That they don't web browse the way that they used to. Yeah. So I can understand for people might feel like, okay, this is always going to be something I'm not going to gain a lot from because, people won't just go to some website as much as they will go to, Facebook. Because Facebook and Instagram, a lot of them, whether it's through ads or whatever else, they kind of cater to like your every need. Yeah. Or they try to cater to your every need.
Yes, you're right. Try to keep you on there, right?
Right.
And then, so we were saying that even on that cover page, as things change for you, as you have new releases, as you have tour dates, as you have press, you can collect all of that information on your website so that people can access it. We talked about that a little bit with that EPK, electronic press kit. That by having it on your website as the primary place, that if somebody connects to you on one of those social media and they go to your website, they can find the universe that is yours.
Yeah, and so I think the main part too is that the website is to make sure that you always have a presence.
Yes.
It's to make sure that if it's one day where Instagram, Facebook, or whatever is down, got hacked, or whatever.
Or you got kicked off for sharing too much.
Right, or whatever that they may have done. Yeah. They changed the algorithms in some kind of way, and, all of a sudden they say, well, you got to, your people who were connected to you got to reconnect with you. Yeah. Where you just never know what might happen. Or like Twitter is being sold to Elon Musk, if that ever goes through. Right. What changes will he make? Right. If any, and to the extent that he does make changes, how does that impact you? Yeah. If Facebook is sold tomorrow, and I think Facebook and Instagram might be a package deal, that, what happens if someone else gets control and they change the rules of the game? Yeah. And so now all of a sudden something that worked very efficiently for you didn't work. And for those people who want to connect with you, in that moment in which this seismic happens, that you can reach out to them and say, hey, wait a minute, don't panic. Right. We're working on this, but in the interim, you can get content, blah, 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 blah. And you can always get content here, which would be your website.
Yes, I love that. And remember MySpace. MySpace was here, and there were people who had thousands of followers, fans, or whatever on there, and it just went away. Or like we said, that one day that Facebook and Instagram went down, people lost their minds. Right. And there was a woman who was saying, one of our people in France, that she had spent all these years like putting content on Instagram because she kind of looked at it as her blog.
Yeah.
And just the fact that there was something that she put up, they took down. And I think she was devastated because she's like, it's my work, and and again, just thinking about the fact that you've invested all that time and energy. So our suggestion is just make sure that if you put it up on Instagram as a place where you share with your people, just always put it on your website as well.
Right.
So they can work together. Like you said, if somebody is searching actually Google for you and Instagram happens to be down or Facebook is not working right, they can always find a place where you are located and can find information about you.
Right. It's kind of going on the MySpace thing. That's the same thing happened with SoundCloud. So SoundCloud became this place where rappers were really, becoming big, and then after a while, the term SoundCloud rapper came into vogue, and then it started to become an insult.
Yes.
It's sort of like, once that happens to a particular platform that you may rely upon.
Right, that you put all this energy,
stuff into. Yeah. So now you always got to be ready to pivot.
Right.
If it might just be pivoting to a new platform or whatever else, but what happens in the interim?
Right.
What happens to your people in the interim, and how do you keep, your people with a certain flow of content?
I was about to say, what about all that content if there were years? Right. And I guess this is more of a long term. We're talking the long game. Again, we're not talking about, hey, you're in it for 6 months or a year and you're out. We're talking about, hey, like, that you're in it and you're saying whatever it's worth, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, because we've seen so many platforms come and go. I mean, the platform that started the streaming era, which was Napster.
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
We at one time we used to do stuff on mp3.com. Gone. GarageBand used to be one of these sites that we had where we had a nice little following and presence going. Gone.
Yes.
So I mean, MySpace, as we just mentioned, gone. And there's so many of them that Periscope.
Oh, my goodness.
What happened to that? Gone.
And then,
how about Vines?
Right.
Where's that at?
And then they turned into TikTok, but it's different,
Right. It's not. But it's a different platform. So now you have to go and recreate. Have a whole new following there. I mean, so and there's a whole bunch of other ones out there. We have Reverb Nation. There's another one that's still going right now that people probably don't even use that much. And we have like a small presence there, but again, it's not like these top ones are. But we don't know next year what are people going to be talking about.
What's the new thing? So we want to have our own little corner.
Right.
And then the final question that people ask is, how do I make a website, for my music? Because music requires, a certain set of tools, interactive tools. And so we're not sponsored by anybody. There are websites who are set up just for musicians, and I'm sure if you Google the top provider right now will come up. And we use a Wix site. Again, we don't get any money for it, and it solves our needs, and we just choose the package that allows us to put that information there.
Right.
But it allows, videos, it allows us to sell music downloads, it allows all of that, the pictures and all that, and it's flexible and it's drag and drop. You don't have to know how to code. So it keeps it a little bit easier. Not that there's not a learning curve, but it is worth it. Trust and believe it is worth it.
And you probably go through sites like GoDaddy who you could get like your domain.
The domain. Oh yeah, that was another thing. That was the other thing. Domain, if you do the website, and I guess the question also is free versus paid.
Yeah.
And of course we suggest paid only because you get to link your domain versus the free. But I mean, if you're just testing it out and you're trying to see one platform versus another, like when we first started, I tried doing WordPress and I did the free version, and I couldn't, it was too complicated. I'm sorry, hats off to the people who do a WordPress site, because it was too confusing. And so that's how we ended up with Wix. I tried a few different varieties. So do free first, and then once you have decided this is going to be my corner of the universe, then go ahead and buy your domain, link it up. And then that way, when they type in your band's name or whatever your presence is, they get you.
And the more unique your name is, the less of a likelihood that the domain name is already taken.
Yes.
You know, but if you're going to be doing something like BMG Music Group or something like that, I mean, it's probably going to be taken.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
you know, what you want to do is try to make it as unique as possible. You know, maybe something something that goes along with your brand and all the rest of that kind of stuff, and you know, so that you have a greater likelihood of, you know, securing your domain name.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so we are offering a website checklist, link below. So if you would like that, and where we just have some things to keep in mind as you are creating your website, there is a link below. But what do you think? Do you have a website? If so, put your link below so we can come check it out.
Yep.
I would love to get inspiration from you guys. All right, and what else?
Yep, you can stream Sugarfoot everywhere. If you do want to get the CD, you can get it from CD Baby. You can get it from Bandcamp.
That's right.
Yep.
And we have ringtones.
Yeah.
There are ringtones for all 15 songs on Sugarfoot. So if you want that funky ringtone, make sure you check the link below. And if you dig the vibe and you want to be a part of the tribe, be sure to
subscribe.
We're wishing you love, peace, and
chicken grease.